evening again. It's my pleasure this morning to introduce our first speaker of the day. She's working out of our advanced book. And I'm just going to order my advanced books today because I just finished my 10th speech last
All
week.
right. Yay!
Moving along.
Go Cliff.
Diane Eisner is transplanted from New York. She is a NYU graduate in accounting, and her company name is Accountabilities. Keeps everybody on track, right? She had the prior life, she was a financial aide and a counselor for the Fashion Institute of Technology in New York.
Oh.
And so this morning, we're going to be listening to her give a presentation here. And the objects are going to be to organize, inform, and give us some great information. Diane, it's yours.
My intention when I started to write this speech was to talk about the budget and the crisis and what the country is doing about it. And the deeper I got into that research, the more daunting it became. So trying to limit my scope a little bit, I decided to look at just education. And what I found was kind of astonishing. It's one of those footballs that we throw around, you know, cut education expenses, cut education expenses. We're not educating our kids. We've got problems in this country. And I decided that because that's such a hot topic, that I would actually take a look at what that means. And I'll give you a little bit about a background about me. My mom was a reading specialist. She taught Title I in the local elementary school for most of my life. She went back to school when I was 11 and started teaching shortly thereafter. She finished her degree and wound up with 2 masters, one in reading and the other one in learning disabilities. So I grew up in a household that was fairly educated. My dad was also college educated. We would do the Sunday Times crossword puzzle. It was part of our weekly ritual. We did jigsaw puzzles. We traveled. We had a myriad of experiences that helped us as children grow up, and as adults, my parents stayed fairly entertained. And then when I went to college, I decided that I was going to go get a job. So I went and got a secretarial degree. I got an associate's degree, and I learned how to take stenography. Don't ask, because forget it. I remember 3 brief forms. And I got my first job, and I went to work. And I did okay, and about the age of 25, I realized that I was going nowhere fast. So I went back to school and got my degree from NYU in accounting. One of the things about that was I worked full-time and I went to school full-time at night. And at that time, I was also a financial aid counselor for college, and I had these kids whining they can't work 6 hours of college work study on campus in their department. And I would go, no cash, go to work. So I kind of had this view of life that was a little different than most people, because I put myself through school, I worked full-time, I did the associate's degree, I did the bachelor's degree, and I also helped kids get through college. And one of the interesting things about FIT was it's a community college in the state system. We teach, they taught or teach skills. They teach a skill set. They teach fashion design, fashion illustration, marketing. They teach display, photography. So these are all skill sets, and they give an associate's degree. And most of the kids got out in 2 years, some in 4. And if you were really crazy, you could go do a master's in restoration and library sciences. The college had one of the best collections of clothing and materials outside the Smithsonian Institute. So they had a really interesting mix of students, and I got to deal with all of them. And one of the things that I felt when I was doing this was, if you teach a man to fish, you feed him for life. You don't just give him a handout. You teach a skill set that you get to work with. So I'm listening to the budget crisis, and I'm going, cut education. I don't know about that. That's something we're going to hopefully just give you a little more information to decide. One of the things that I then decided to research was unemployment. And the statistics on unemployment were really interesting. The statistics were, if you have an advanced degree, you're likely to be 2% of the population unemployed. If you have no diploma, you're likely to be over 14.5% of the population of those unemployed. People with no degree make about, this is, by the way, all my statistics are from '99, that's the last, '09 was the last year I could find. If you have no diploma, you make about $450 a month. If you have an advanced degree or a professional degree, you're about $1,500 a month. I'm sorry, a week. So being the accountant that I am, being the accountant that I am, I think a little differently than most normal people. It cost me $15,000 in tuition to get my degree. So let's say it cost you $10,000 a year just to get tuition, books, and get through school. So a 2-year degree costs about 20 grand. If you take the difference between what you make here and what you make here, in 10 years, you've given the government more in taxes than they've given you if they paid for your education. If you have an advanced degree, it takes 15 years, at 5% by the way, of your salary and taxes to pay back the government for what they gave you to pay for your education. So assuming that all of us go to college for free, our future looks a lot brighter financially for us and economically for the government, because you don't work 15 years. You work 30, 40 years. So that added value goes back into the economy again and again and again. And the other thing is, you're not costing. You're not out there unemployed. McClellan, Texas has a 15% adult population that does not have a college degree. The study on that said that not only do you not earn, but you cost more. You cost more in medical expenses, in social services, you have a lower quality of life. So again, do you want to keep kids in school, get them a higher education, improve our population? The president made a comment in February of last year that said, if we don't educate our population, someone else will, and they will outperform us. Their economies will be stronger, better, faster, and we'll lose, our edge. So when it comes to cutting the budget on education, you have to look at, are we educating our population appropriately? Is our money being used effectively? And do you just want to say, cut education? Or do you actually want to say, well, let's take a look at this. Where's our best value for our dollars? Thank you very much.